This is Rob Tebbutt for Boxing Social in association with Betfred. Delighted to be joined by the gentleman Chris Billam-Smith following his win over Vasil Ducar. Tough that, as expected.
Yeah, you know, we knew how tough he was. He's been at some big names. Dropped him a couple of times. Don't know if that's a record. I'm good at, most of my opponents have had the best result against him compared to my peers. But it was a tough bloke. But I'm just, like I said all week, I was just glad to get the win.
How do you assess your overall performance?
If I'm going to rate it out of 10, about 6.5, 7. I can be much better than that. But the way he boxes, he falls in, and you have to, speed your feet up and take your breaks, take your time. You've got to layer your shots, which I could have done a bit better. But yeah, it was, like I said, about 6.5, 7.
He's been in with some dangerous fighters, as you mentioned. Alexei Egorov, highly touted prospect. He didn't get the stoppage. 6th round, you had him down for a second time. Looked like you really wanted to get it under your belt.
Yeah, absolutely. He didn't give me anything after that, and he swings back at the right times and falls in with it, which gives him that little, lean on you, push you off balance sort of thing. So he's clever at what he does, and you can see why he's never been stopped.
Punch hard?
I've been hit harder in fights for sure. You can see it coming, so you can ride the shots and just take little nudges and little blocks. Heavy-handed for sure, and that's why I couldn't switch off. And a couple of times he caught me, but I was never buzzed or hurt in the fight.
Obviously, this was quite a late replacement opponent. We were looking at Dion Juma for months and months. How was your stamina towards the end of the round? You looked like you were tired somewhat.
No, I just took my foot off the gas a bit and just got through the rounds and boxed safe, to be honest. That's what Shane was telling me to do, just get my feet going. I wasn't really, tired. I was just trying to stay safe and just nick the rounds. And there's no point of taking damage in this sport. It's too dangerous for that with someone who's got 8 out of 9 wins by way of knockout. So I just had to take my time.
Waited a long time for your shot at the British title. Don't know what's going on with that with Dion Juma. I hear Jack Massey's also in line for it. What's the situation for you? Do you want that, or you want to pursue the European title against Tommy McCarthy?
Tommy McCarthy fight got talked about after my last fight. I'd absolutely love that fight. For me, that's my number one pick next. I hope that fight can be made.
Final word on the main event. Lawrence Okolie, your stablemate, new world champion?
Absolutely. He said 5 to 8, and I think that's very realistic. I've watched Glowacki a little bit more this week, and I think that's a very, very realistic thing. Any of the rounds 5 to 8. I did originally say under 6 rounds, but after watching him a bit more, he's dangerous early on, so Lawrence can just take his time, take him out mid to late rounds.
Got a nice shiny new belt there. Hold it up. George Groves will be proud.
Yeah, it's not quite as good as his one, but I have held his one. It's probably as heavy as his one, but it's a good belt and it matches the colours.
Okay, well, final question. Before this, I spoke to Eddie. The murmurs have been going around about taking a show down Bournemouth. Is that what you really want next?
Absolutely, I'd absolutely love that. It was meant to be last weekend a year ago, so 53 weeks ago today. We were meant to have it down there. In the summer would make more sense, so maybe the stars are aligned for a great show down in Bournemouth in the summer. And that would just, I think, hold a match. You want to go down there. You want to go down there, sandy beach, nice, get it on a nice weekend in the summer, and we can all have a great weekend.
Yeah, less of me on the beach, more of me in Chicken and Blues. Chris Billam-Smith, thanks for speaking to Boxing Social. Catch up with you later for pizza.
Nice one, thanks Rob.